Hi guys, Marshall here. Thought I'd talk to you a little bit about coming out. Got about 7 tips for you. This is aimed at any kind of coming out, whether it be gender or sexual orientation. So obviously you can take these tips and use them, or you can just be like, nah. It's down to you. Number 1. This is probably the most important, in my opinion. If for any reason you feel that you are putting yourself in physical or mental, emotional or any kind of danger by coming out to your parents, don't do it. Basically, I know you might really want to come out, but if coming out is going to cause you any kind of pain, then just don't do it. Wait. I know that's not what you want to hear, but your safety is far more important than anything else. And if you are worried about your parents chucking you out or something along those lines, make sure you have a backup plan, so you've got somewhere to go if that does happen. Number 2. What about if you are unsure how your parents feel about whatever you're coming out as? You don't know if they're homophobic, or you don't know how they feel about transgender. You don't even know if they know what it is. Test it. Try and be as subtle as possible, but talk about it so that you're not talking about yourself. Make up someone, maybe, if you have to. Be like, oh, I know this person at school, and see what their reaction is. But just because they have a certain reaction doesn't mean that's how they properly feel. You've got to take that into consideration as well. 3. Okay, so you've decided it's safe for you to come out. And there's no pressure to decide that. It's completely down to you. You think this is the time you want to actually come out. There's several things you're going to have to decide before you actually do it. Obviously this depends on how many people you need to tell, how many people live in your house, if that's the situation. Do you tell people one at a time, or do you tell everybody at once, or do you do it in smaller groups? Obviously this is completely down to you how you tell them, whether you think it would be best to speak to everyone at once and get it out of the way, or whether you think certain people take it better than others, and you'd rather tell somebody and then have them with you when you tell other people. It's just something to think about. I can't tell you which would be best for you. You'd have to figure that out for yourself. 4. Okay, next problem is when. When do you tell them? First thing about when is try and avoid telling them at holiday time. I.e. Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. Those aren't the best times to come out. You might think it's the best time to come out because you've got all your family together and you can tell them all at once, but I wouldn't recommend it. Speaking from past experience here, it's not a good idea. Usually your parents can be very stressed at this time. They might not show it, but they usually are. Especially if everybody's coming round to their house, so they've got to cook the dinner and make sure everything's really tidy. So, yeah, basically your parents will probably be stressed, which means if you throw something like this at them, which they're not going to be expecting more than likely, they're not going to take it well. It's more likely that they're going to jump to conclusions and they're going to think the worst, so the reaction could not be the one that you're looking for. So yeah, avoid coming out at stressful times, basically. 5. What? 5. Okay, so where do you come out? This is also down to the individual. Personally, I sat on the sofa with my mum and came out to her. It was a nice, quiet, one-on-one sort of situation. So that is something I'd recommend, somewhere quiet and where you can just be who you're talking to, whether it be one person or two or more. Alternatively, you could take your parents out for coffee and tell them why you have a hot drink. This does have its good points and also has its bad points. Good points being your parents are less likely to make a scene out in public. They're less likely to shout at you. They're more likely to listen more. But obviously if it does go bad and they do shout at you, then it's more scary because you're in public. So it's down to your personal opinion on that one as well. Depends whether you think your parents would prefer it to be in the house or somewhere out, whichever you think would be better. 6. In my opinion, this is also very important. Be positive. This is a positive thing. If you come out to them and you're all negative about it, then they're going to see it as a negative thing. But if you're all positive about it, then they're going to be like, oh, this ain't that bad. It's a positive thing. You have no reason to be sorry. You have no reason to apologise for this. 7. Lucky number 7. I don't know what that was. This will probably go more for the gender side of it rather than the sexual orientation, but either way, do research. Before you come out, especially gender-wise, find out as much information as you can. Because you don't want to come out to your parents and then they start asking questions and you're just sat there like, I don't know. It's not gonna give the best impression, if you know what I mean. So the more research you do beforehand, the better. You'll be able to answer questions and then they'll see that you're taking this seriously. This isn't just a thing, it's not a phase. You know what you're talking about because you've put the time in to make sure. That way, when they ask questions, you can answer them in full with long answers if necessary, and they'll be able to see that you know exactly what you're talking about, which will put their mind at ease. They'll realise that it's less likely to be a phase because you've done all this research. And they won't panic as much, thinking that, oh no, you're jumping into this and you don't know what the hell's going on. Especially the gender. Gender, I'd say, is probably more so. I mean, if you come out as gay, most people know what you mean. But if you come out as pan-gender or something, they're not gonna know what that means. So do your research. Just give them time. They might fight against it or ignore it completely to begin with and pretend that nothing happened. The whole conversation never existed. But they are your parents or friends or family, loved ones. They do love and care for you. It just might take them a little while to adjust to the new situation that you've just thrown at them. Which is why coming out is best if you put all these things into consideration before you actually do it. Don't just jump into it. It can scare parents a lot. I have actually come out twice. Originally as queer, I guess. I can't even remember. And more recently as transgender, so I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm just lucky because both of mine went pretty well. So I hope you'll take these into consideration and I wish you luck. And just remember that if you're too scared or you don't think you can come out yet, we're all here for you. You can always drop me a message and I will be happy to talk to you. Or just leave a comment below. Well, until next time, stay cool. This is aimed at any kind of coming out, whether it be sexual. Oh, I can't speak. Oh, I really can't speak. Oh dear. This is aimed at any kind of coming out, whether it be gender or sexual words.